I'm David Ambrose. Hey, I want to share a quick story with you, and maybe this story can help someone. I remember I had to take a surgery. I had this excruciating pain that was going down my back. Went to the hospital. They told me to go take an MRI. Long story short, the MRI said that my nerve was in my neck was being pinched in several different vertebrae. So the pain was in my waist, but the problem was in my neck. So the pain was in the waist, and think about that. The problem was in my neck. So a lot of time, that's how life is. Sometimes the pain is somewhere else, but the problems is in another direction. So we have to find out what that solution is. However, with that challenge of having that pain, they decided I should have a surgery. Now, hindsight, I probably never would have that surgery, by the way. Let me just start with that note. But nevertheless, I did have a surgery because I couldn't walk for a minute, and I kept falling and kept falling. And that was the purpose of the surgery, because every time I moved a certain way, I guess it stopped my nerves from having me to walk or move, and kept me falling. But nevertheless, I had the surgery, and I didn't know, but to my understanding, I like to pass the diet on the table because of certain things went wrong. So finally got past that challenge. And then the doctor told me I won't have feelings from pretty much it was from my arms and legs all the way down. So I couldn't walk, couldn't move myself, couldn't feed myself. And this is in 2015. And do none of those things. So I'm laying in the bed like, wow, Lord, why this happened? And why did it happen to me? And a voice just as clear as day, why not you? Who would you prefer it to happen to? And of course, the first thing crossed my mind, I don't want to happen to nobody. I definitely don't want to happen to my children. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, that was a big gut check. So I started asking myself, how do I overcome this? Because there are things in my life I've overcome. You know, just like David in the Bible, the challenge that David had, he overcome those things. So the answer, you want to know where you're going to overcome these challenges is from something that I overcome in the past. And that is through God's grace and through God's strength. So I started thinking, so he said, hey, listen, you may be able to walk again, but it'll be a couple of years, maybe, give or take, and you will have to use a walker. And first thing crossed my mind was my daughter, because she was the oldest at home. And I was like, wow, I can't let Angel see me in a wheelchair. Oh, I guess nowhere in the world I can let Michael see me in a wheelchair. That's my boy. You know, seriously, that was going through my mind. So I called the nurse into my room and asked her to bring a walker into my room and set the walker by the bed. So I stared at this walker as I visualized myself, believe it or not, walking. So I fell asleep that night, and I was dreaming of myself running again. Not just walking, but running again. So after a few days, the therapy, you know, going through the movement, and trying to move my finger, move my hands, all that good stuff, I laid down, and again, I looked at the walker. The lady said, here's your walker again. So after the nurse left out the room, just paraphrasing short version of this, I was able to lift myself up for some of the things that the guy taught me in the therapy. And stood up on this walker. Couldn't move, but I stood up. Now I had to figure out how to get back in the bed because I had the strength to get back. So I hit the buzzer, and they called back. The nurse came back in the room and said, hey, sir, don't do that. You can't walk. Da, 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 da. So, of course, I lay back down. One little challenge. Long story short, within the next 2 weeks, I was able to take that walker and walk down the hallway in that hospital. So the point to this story is I didn't listen to what the doctor or the nurse said, hey, it may be a couple of years before you walk. I listened to what I've been through, and I trust God could get me through it. That was the difference in me walking again and me not walking again. So I'm sharing that with some of you today. Sometimes, a lot of time, people think what's best for you is what they see for you. But also what's best for you should be for what you see for you. Your vision, your goal, your destination holds on what you want to become, not with somebody else. Sometimes some people, especially if you're an athlete, you see coaches say, well, that's not your position. This is not you. And then also you see that athlete explode under a different coach or a different situation because somebody else saw greatness in them where you just saw whatever you saw. So again, for me walking again, I knew I had greatness in me, and I had a daughter that had to see me walk. I had a son that had to see me walk, and I knew I couldn't hold myself to those words of maybe it takes 2 years. I didn't buy into that. So I start moving in a direction that it takes for me to walk again. So there's the moral to this story again. Use that information. Move in a direction that you want to go. You might want to be a great speaker. Might want to be a great athlete. Might want to be a great business person. Start moving in that direction and start doing things that get you in that direction. Now, you can't sit there and pray all day and do no work. Okay, so whatever your direction is, start moving in that. Start doing the research. Start reading books. Start being around the people that you want to be like. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a successful basketball player, volleyball player, football player, start hanging around those kind of people. But those people that have that same vision that you now. Don't just hang around people that don't do nothing, that don't want to be nobody, don't want to accomplish anything that's in that sport. Be around those people that truly put the passion and the work and the time in what they want to accomplish. Hang around those people. As the old saying says, iron sharpens iron, because see, the information you're going to get from them is always going to be go, go, go. As I told a person one time, I've never heard a millionaire, never heard a millionaire tell me anyway, hey, you can't do that. It always someone that's broke, disgusted, and don't want to come some, always going to tell you what you can or cannot do. But I never heard of a person that's accomplishing something would tell you what you cannot do. They're always going to say, how can I help you? This is what you can do. Hey, call on me if you need me. Those are great servant people, and those are the key things. And that's one thing that really got me into coaching volleyball, because I saw the need of a lot of young ladies that wanted to play volleyball, but certain clubs, certain places, if they didn't walk a certain way or do certain things, they didn't want to have anything to do with them. And a lot of those players turned out to be great players because what I saw into them is what they needed to see in themselves, and not being talked down upon or have someone to say that what they couldn't do. So again, trust God with your goals and your vision, not man. Man to take that goal and vision, crush it up, throw it on the floor, and step on it. And then you're going to have to get up and go do something. That's going to be the key. You're going to have to get up and go do something. Can't talk about it. You got to walk about it. You got to run to that goals. You got to get yourself in a position to where I am going to do this. I am a great speaker. I am a great leader. I am a great basketball player. I am a great volleyball player. I am a great football player. I am a great minister. Whatever you want to be, become that. That's when your life is going to change. Change your thinking will change your life. Again, I'm David Ambrose with Built Daily Podcast. Hope this information would help you, and I'll see you next time on our next episode. Thank you.